Three foundational principles for every family are found in 2 Timothy 1:7. Three foundational principles for every Christian family are found in 2 Timothy 1:7. 2 Timothy 1:7. St. Paul is writing this epistle to his disciple Timothy. He's saying to him in 2 Timothy 1:7, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Three foundational principles for every Christian family to hold on to live and to acquire. What are these three foundational principles for every Christian family? They are power, 1, love, 2, sound mind, 3. If we acquire these three things, that family is all for Christ. Power, love, and a sound mind. For God has not given us a spirit of fear. Do not be afraid. Fear equals cowardness. Fear equals cowardness. Sound mind equals self-control. Self-control. Three things for every family: power, love, sound mind, i.e. self-control. Now, fear is cowardness. Where did this come from? Cowardness or fear is a combination of weakness and selfishness. You see, fear comes out of weakness and being selfish. When you're weak and selfish, you have fear, and fear leads to being a coward. Because of weakness, fear comes, and fear generates escape. See, these words are very deep. Because of weakness, fear comes, and what does fear do? Generates escape. I'll give you an example. There are some fathers or parents, they become weak. They start fearing. When they start fearing, they end up running away. Escape. They escape to spending too much time on Facebook, drinking, gambling, etc. This is my scapegoat. I can't face reality. I can't face the challenges. I can't face all these obstacles in life. I'm fearing for myself. I'm fearing for my children. I'm fearing maybe for my wife. Did you get that one? I'm fearing. So what do? I'm scared now. I'm afraid now. So I'm going to run away. I'll find a way to make me forget my fears. I found it. I'll drink until I'm drunk so I can forget all these thoughts that are haunting me non-stop. Drinking is the solution. They destroy themselves and the family with them. Gambling is the solution. Destroy themselves and family with them. Drugs is the solution. Destroy themselves and family with them. So many families, couples I have come across, because of drugs, alcoholism and the rest, they ended up walking away from one another. Why did you seek gambling? Why did you seek alcoholism? Why did you seek drugs? Because I got scared and I didn't want to admit that I have a fear, because I don't wish to be seen a coward, especially the man. I'll hide my fear and cowardness with a scotch on the rock and a white powder in that plastic bag. St. Paul, 2 Timothy 1:7, for God has not given us a spirit of fear. You see, God never created a spirit of fear in you. Looks like you ended up fearing, you ended up being weak and scared because you walked away from God. This is your dilemma. Because you are missing God in your life. That's why you seeked alternate ways which were absolutely and utterly destructive. they escape from withstanding their responsibilities. Do not take on their responsibilities. Well, enough fear, enough being a coward. Let us be powerful. Number one, that's why St. Paul says, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of, number one thing, power. Second, love. Third, sound mind, self-control. But the first thing is power. So beautifully placed in a beautiful, orderly fashion. Number one, power. The first principle for the Christian family. Be powerful, don't be fearful. Now, second principle is love. Well, what did we say about fear? Weakness brings fear, and fear is cowardness, and cowardness is a combination between, what did we say, between weakness and selfishness. Well, love is the opposite to being selfish. So instead of being selfish, be a loving person. When you have the love of God in your heart, selfishness is driven away. Is driven away. So the second principle, the first principle is power to get rid of weakness. So you don't be selfish. Then love to get rid of that selfishness. And we said cowardness is a combination between weakness and selfishness. And the opposite to that is power and love. Third principle, sound mind, self-control. Now, why the sound mind or the self-control is the third principle? Why? St. Paul is trying to teach us something very profound here. Look how St. Paul writes. When you read it at a surface level, you don't even grasp what he's really meaning. Now, why self-control is the third principle? You see, the reason why sound mind or self-control is the third principle, so that it actually maintains and insists on the following to take place. Number one, so that your power should not be done in ignorance. Without self-control, your power goes in and end up into ignorance. But with self-control, the power is controlled in righteousness and holiness, not ignorance. And love should not be done in immaturity. Without self-control, your love is wild, immature. But with self-control, the love is controlled, it's mature, it's ripe. Everything is done perfectly according to God's will. And this is why power and love together, but managed by the sound mind, self-control. You need self-control in order for power and love are not abused.